Why plants are better than animals, a scientific analysis. We take the top scientific journals analyzing the reasons to choose plants. Amines in meat. Number 2, protein allowances and amino acid digestion. Plant versus animal protein for cardiovascular risk. Polyphenols, as in plants are full of vitamins, and plants for your blood health because they love our guts. Have you ever wanted to know once and for all which end of the scales tips on the issue of food? What foods are good, bad, ugly, and which foods make us die young? Which foods are better once and for all? Plants or animals? Our first study looks at amines and their risk to human health. A study by the Department of Food Technology in Egypt looked at the significance of biogenic amines to food safety and human health. The first study is about the largest factor. Animal meat contains amines. These are overwhelmingly connected through scientific studies to illness in all forms of meat. Amines are basic nitrogenous compounds where one or two atoms of hydrogen in ammonia are replaced by an alkyl or an aryl group. Basically, they are universally widespread through the animal and plant kingdoms. As decarboxylation, aka dyeing, is the most common way to make amines in food, and live organisms such as meat do so through decarboxylation of amino acids. Therefore, they are biogenic. These biogenic amines mean that this causes diseases in the human host, where through the ingestion of food containing biologically active amines. So basically, when you're eating the foods that have these amines, you're ingesting them and you're getting them due to microbial aging or storage. These amines are formed. We can imagine the various meats we consume have a lengthy time stamp from when they were a living animal, slaughtered, then processed into our food. Foods such as meats, dairy, fish, eggs are all on the top of these lists of biogenic amines. The table describes its pharmacological effects of these amines, including on the right-hand side, and they all have precursor amines. Effects include liberating adrenaline and noradrenaline, exciting your smooth muscles of the intestine, respiratory tract, and the uterus, stimulating your sensory and motor neurons, controlling your gastric acid secretion, peripheral vasoconstriction, increases your cardiac output, increases lacrimation, also known as producing tears, and salivating, so it keeps your mouth nice and salivated. It increases your respiration as well, increases your blood sugar levels, releases noradrenaline in the form of the sympathetic nervous system, known to cause migraines, known to also cause too low blood pressure, also known as hypotension, and subsequently bradycardia or a slow heart. Studies have also found lockjaw in certain patients having an adverse effect of these amines. Also, patients have known to have paresis of the extremities or muscle weakness, and the potentiate to toxicity of other amines, meaning that your amines that you ingest can also have other toxic effects. Overall, increases your blood pressure and puts yourself at risk. Symptoms of these amines include skin rashes of all sorts, headaches, palpitations, tinglings, flushing of the face, diarrhea, and sweating. Histamines are abundant in fish and cheese, which can cause poisoning in humans. Poisoning happens in the form of our bodies not being able to detoxify itself from these histamines that we ingest. Hence, fish and dairy products are the ones to look out for here. Amines can be carcinogenic as it is found to be a mutagenic precursor posing health hazards in animals that we eat in our bodies. Added hazards are from salting and smoking. This induces a heavier formation of these nitrosamine compounds, so be aware of these products. The toxicity in chicks found in the feed of poultry was known to form erosions in their gizzards, which led to death in some reported outbreaks of popular broiler chickens. The main idea here is that be responsible and know what you're choosing in terms of food containing these amines. Next article is protein allowances and amino acid digestion. How much protein is needed to support development? What are the safe limits? And what is our digestion in terms of our foods that contain amino acids? Researchers in the UK examined dietary protein amount of amino acid required, such as maintaining bone mass and supporting normal development. This illustration shows the general process of amino acid interchange in the human body, assessing the protein requirement for each individual. Amino acid formation is a delicate balance between the nitrogen and protein intake. This table illustrates the more protein intake, you can also see a direct link in the negative of nitrogen balance. The actual and assumed values of metabolic demands in a multi-level nitrogen balance analysis of the net protein. We can also take a look at this table in terms of the meta-analysis found in the nitrogen balance studies. The median requirement for individuals on your protein requirement per day is about 0.66 grams per kilogram in which you weigh. Study does suggest here on the right-hand side there is a tolerable upper limit in which it indicates 3 to 4 times, but is it safe? As adult humans do not grow, this is a nitrogen balance that represents the amount of protein in taken out and the energy expenditure. A positive value is increasing weight, whereas a negative value is decreasing weight as well as depleting the nitrogen balance. Researchers took a pragmatic approach in this illustration. There is a zone of equilibrium, and as you can see, an upward trend that coincides with weight gain. However, is it useful? We have to maintain our equilibrium in our protein intake, specifically in the animal form. Studies included egg and dairy proteins in association with these results. In general, a positive nitrogen and amino acid balance in your body leads to weight gain, so we need to be aware that the forms of animal amino acids are leading to our global epidemic of obesity. Now that food cravings for animal proteins are set to rise by 2050, this is coupled with the fact that we are becoming obese. Just another reason why plants are better than animals. Next article is from the researchers in the US, looking at plant protein and cardiovascular risk. The different proteins in our diet are important in this debate, as the top killers, as you see here, described by Dr. Greger, are largely due to our diets. The top preventable killers are largely due to our diets. So the current evidence states here in this research study that the cardiovascular risk can be reduced by a dietary pattern that provides more plant sources of protein instead of animal proteins. Now, the influence from our governments in the form of dietary guidelines stems from our understanding of nutrition, its bioactive components in our diet, and the foods that adversely affect our health. So the recommended daily allowance is roughly 0.8 grams per kilogram body weight that you have, and also can be translated into 10 to 35% of your plate. Now, the Canadian guidelines from 2019 rolled out its new structure here, as you can see, and it does not include any dairy. As we can understand now by the scientific body of research, dairy is known to be hazardous to our health and especially young children. Now, if you want more information on dairy and its hazardous effects, you can check out my video on dangers of dairy on my YouTube channel. The link is below. So just going back to this, we can see that the new version includes half whole produce, and then the other 2/4 are split equally between whole grains or complex carbohydrates and proteins of all kinds, as you can see here, mixed between plants, animals, fish, and nuts and seeds. Check out in further detail about the cardiovascular benefits of plants and the adverse effects of animals in our diet from my YouTube video of this exact research study. The link is below. Also, if you would like to check out some plant proteins, I've allocated the top plant proteins in a video form from my YouTube site, and the link is below as well. The next side of the plant and animal diet debate is our ability to absorb nutrients in the form of vitamins and minerals from plants. Basically, the more plants you eat, the more vitamins and minerals you are boosting your body with to feel vibrant and replenished. Researchers in India took a quantitative analysis of polyphenols in our diet. As polyphenols are micronutrients obtained from plants, they are known to promote health and wellness. This study showed through the amount of polyphenols obtained from the diet, one can successfully achieve all necessary macro and micro nutrients from a plant-based diet and remain disease-free. Polyphenols are special to plants and play a role in protecting our body cell to free radical damage, aka aging and premature death. Without enough defenses, these free radicals take over and slowly kill our bodies from the inside out. A multi-country analysis in Table 2 shows all countries over the world, they took 12 here, and their intake per day of polyphenols. The study researcher recommends a diet rich in polyphenols, such as available in vegetables, legumes, cereals, and fruits. Final article that we will look at in this debate, plants versus animals in our diet, is investigating that plants are winning for our lifeblood because they love our guts. Clinical investigation in 2017 researched the patient's blood health, their current chronic health conditions relating to poor diet from diseases such as hypertension, hypercholesterolemia, and medications that they have to take to treat other blood disorders. Now, the research frankly says that for economic sake, the burden on poor diet on the healthcare system worldwide is excruciating. So that social system is ultimately paying for these medical bills. Up to 20% can be strictly devoted to blood-related cardiovascular illnesses. Typically, drugs and therapies are suggested rather than the focus beyond nutritional intervention. Researchers found that a plant-based diet successfully reduced these illnesses, hypertension, hypercholesterolemia, and other illnesses that results in taking medication. So now the patients are off the medication. And what they did is, this shows that successfully we can apply this strategy worldwide to help millions of people who have these conditions improve their overall health. Now, successfully transitioning to a plant-based diet will end our discussion here on why plants are better than animals. A scientific investigation from vegan food scientist. Thanks, guys, for watching. If you liked my video, please like, share, and subscribe. And check out the other links below to the other information. Hope you guys have a great day and keep it vegan, y'all.